For our final PCQ, I'll be covering vision, equilibrium, and hearing. Vision is the special sense of sight that is based on the transduction of light stimuli received through the eyes. The eyes are located within either orbit in the skull. Key structures: the cornea, transparent front part of the eye that bends the light. The lens focuses light onto the retina. The retina contains photoreceptors, your rods and your cones. These detect light. Rods detect dim light and motion, black, white, and gray. Cones detect color and fine detail. Optic nerve transmits visual signals to the brain, and the occipital lobe, where the brain processes visual input. The phototransduction process. First, light enters the eye and is focused by the cornea and lens onto the retina. Then photopigments in rods and cones undergo a conformational change in response to the light. This initiates a cascade of intracellular events involving cyclic GMP, leading to hyperpolarization of photoreceptors. Signal is relayed to bipolar cells, ganglion cells, and then the optic nerve. The brain interprets these signals in the primary visual cortex of the occipital lobe. And then hearing, also known as audition. Hearing is the transduction of sound waves into a neural signal that is made possible by the structures of the ear. The key structures of the ear begin with the outer ear, or the auditory canal. This captures the sound waves. The tympanic membrane, also known as the eardrum, it vibrates with the sound. In the middle ear contains 3 small bones: the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. The inner ear contains the cochlea, a spiral-shaped organ with fluid and hair cells. The hair cells convert vibrations into nerve signals. The auditory nerve sends these signals to the brain. In the auditory transduction process, sound waves enter the auditory canal and vibrate the tympanic membrane, and then ossicles transmit the vibration to the oval window, causing fluid waves in the cochlea. Movement of the basilar membrane deflects hair cells against the tectorial membrane. Mechanical bending of hair cells, stereocilia, opens ion channels, causing depolarization. Neurotransmitters are released, stimulating the cochlear branch of the cranial nerve, and then signals are transmitted through the brainstem, medial geniculate, nucleus of the thalamus, and the primary auditory cortex in the temporal lobe. And then finally, equilibrium, also known as your balance. Along with audition, the inner ear is responsible for encoding information about equilibrium. There's 2 types of equilibrium: static, this detects head position while still, controlled by the utricle and saccule vestibules. Hair cells embedded in a gel-like material respond to gravity. And the dynamic equilibrium detects motion and rotation. Controlled by the semicircular canals, fluid movement bends hair cells during rotation. So equilibrium refers to the body's ability to maintain posture and orientation in space. It's controlled by the vestibular system located within the inner ear. Its anatomical structures include the vestibule, which also includes the utricle and saccule, which detect linear acceleration and gravitational forces. The semicircular canals are 3 fluid-filled loops, anterior, posterior, and lateral, oriented in different planes, responsible for detecting rotational movements. Hair cells, which are sensory receptors located in the maculae and cristae ampullaris, Otolithic membrane is a gelatinous layer with embedded calcium carbonate crystals. These shift in response to gravity. And the endolymph, fluid that moves in response to head movement, displacing the capilla within the semicircular canals. To tie it all together, through vision, hearing, and equilibrium are distinct sensory systems. They work in close coordination to help us interpret our surroundings, maintain balance, and respond appropriately to environmental stimuli. This coordination relies on constant communication between sensory organs and brain regions, and these integrate and interpret multi-sensory inputs. The key interactions: vision and equilibrium. Vision helps the brain confirm or correct information from the vestibular system. For example, if your inner ear senses that you're moving, but your eyes see that you're still. For example, sitting in a moving car, the conflicting signals may result in motion sickness. Equilibrium and hearing, both systems use the inner ear, and damage to this region can affect both balance and hearing. For vision and hearing, these senses work together to locate sound sources. You'll often turn your eyes toward a sound even before seeing it, an action guided by reflexes involving the superior collicus. And finally, examples of the connection between the senses include catching a ball while turning. So imagine you're standing in a park, someone calls your name and tosses you a ball. You turn your head quickly to locate the voice and then catch the ball. Hearing alerts you to someone calling your name. Vision orients you to the ball's motion and you adjust your focus to track it. You use equilibrium to keep your balance steady as you turn your head and shift your body. And the vestibulo-ocular reflex keeps your eyes stable during head movement, allowing you to maintain visual focus on the ball. Your brain integrates this multisensory input to coordinate a motor response, lifting your arms up to catch the ball. And that's the end of my presentation.